You'll see why in a bit. Unfortunately, I threw away my daggers because I wasn't thinking. So the trick up on this gate isn't that. So, oh wait, no, I got a melee weapon. Excellent. Yeah. So you can access the uh, tutorial islands in the other campaigns. So um, you can't access pre-searing, and once you leave it, like if you create a prophecies character, you start in pre-searing. That's not changed. Come here, come here. So like notice I'm tagging these guys for 1 damage, but I'm already gotten down to like 30% health because you can attack through gates. Well, is that useful? Not tremendously. Oops, not allowing event items. So, the prophecies tutorial is, inarguably, to me at least, the most unpolished. Like, again, pre-searing is gorgeous, but the way prophecies introduces you to a lot of mechanics in the game is, frankly speaking, awful. Yeah, ping, ping, ping. Click and drag so we can learn to draw dicks on the map. But prophecies doesn't give you access to a wide array of skills very early on, and it's very, very, very slow, and it just kind of glosses over and outright skips a lot of mechanics, which I think is a actual problem. Factions kind of throw stuff at you too fast. Because you're on the tutorial island, everything's great. There's some side quests here that are kind of difficult, and then you do this mission, and that's not super easy. But then all of a sudden, you pop up on the mainland over here, and you're like level 12, 15 maybe, and you're fighting level 20 foes. What the game should have is it should have part of the main quest to take you up to Kinding Center as like the hub town, and then you can learn a lot more about stuff, and also actually have a reason to like, visit a town where you can get max armor at. But they just didn't do that. I to this day just do not understand why. So like factions, the difficulty curve is just way too spiky. Ow. Actually, a lot of damage here. That's the starter armor. Nightfall is, if you're a new or a returning player, Nightfall is definitely what we recommend people start it with. Just because the the tutorial region there is much more polished, and you actually learn mechanics and stuff. Nightfall also has a much better selection of skills. Or I should say, let me rephrase that. Nightfall has a much better selection of skills for brand new characters to learn and play with. Like, you actually get access to, things like your attunements for an Ellie. So, prophecies, you get random attunements throughout the, well, they're fixed, but like, you get earth attunement and like no usable earth skills in Old Ascalon. you don't get usable earth skills for the majority of the game, actually. And then, you know, you get air attunement somewhat early on and a couple of decent air skills. But, like, you don't get fire attunement unless you go to a town in the middle of actual nowhere and do a side quest. You know, and you can buy skills and prophecies from skill trainers in the next area, but, like, that's even later on. Yeah. So, yeah, Willer Dog's correct on that. These timings. Elaborate. Ooh, Jesus, that hurt. Yeah, we're gonna pop our shroud here. So, yeah, so in Nightfall, you get access to, like, title tracks and stuff that, you know, didn't really exist in previous games. And, the most important thing when you're creating characters in Nightfall, or just, you know, generally playing through Nightfall or Eye of the North, is, when you get near, resurrection shrines, talk to the NPCs nearby them, because they'll give you bounties. Not only do those bounties increase the amount of experience you get for killing mobs of a specific type, but they also give you points. And the points are, you know, sort of meaningless, but some of the stuff is gated behind progressing on the, you know, reputation ranks with those, you know, whatever, you know, faction it is. It's not the best explained system, but other than that, the tutorials in Nightfall are just unquestionably the best of the three. Guess they're not going to come. Yeah, you can get to 20 on Istan quite easily. The one annoyance that I have with it's not in this. It's a very good thing that they actually have a come on, how's that dodge? Whatever. The one annoyance that I have is if you get up to a certain level, the NPCs that offer the shrine bounties on the tutorial island won't talk to you anymore. It's not just based off of, like, did you get up to a high enough rank on the title. And I think that's a bad way to do it. So, because I'm on a ranger, this is really easy to do. Oops. Because I have a lot more armor than I should against, you know, elemental damage. Yeah, the people who play through prophecies, like, you know, we tell people that, like, they're just hurting themselves. Because, you know, they're making things much harder for themselves than it needs to be. And, you know, people still insist on doing it. Like, you know, some people listen, you know, some people, you know, experiment and, you know, then go back to prophecies and go, oh, wow, I see what you mean. Like, this is so much easier in Nightfall. Okay, that's my crap. Let's skip the cutscene. I should have done bitter chill, but whatever. I have no idea what he cast that on, because it should have an instant cooldown. Yeah, there we go. Beef that.